It's been a great few weeks. Been at 4 or 5 training sessions now with Liam and the rest of the team, and I have to say it's been a really positive experience. Really nice to come in and meet a group of very energized players who are looking forward for the season ahead, and really nice to kind of settle in amongst a team of like-minded coaches as well.
Yeah, you mentioned beforehand, before we started recording, your previous experience. You mentioned Arsenal women's development programs that you helped coaching with. How do you think that's helped you progress as a coach, and what was that like just as an experience, really?
Yeah, so I was working at Arsenal for around about 3 years, up until about March this year, looking after the development of their women and girls football programs. So my time and my experience at Arsenal really gave me a deep dive, if you like, into the world of women's football. And I probably have come away with a range of experiences that I hope to bring into this role. Very much about kind of empowering players, about being creative with the way we design practice, and I guess encouraging the players to be creative when they're out on the field.
Well, what would you say was your favourite aspect to that role, your highlight, as it were?
Um, I guess one of the really enjoyable parts of the role are two things which really spring to mind. One, creating an environment where all the players felt kind of physically and psychologically safe. So that whole notion of playing without a fear of failure, or being able to take risks in training and in games, and that takes some work. So working with a team of coaches to help them really give the players the confidence to go and try stuff, and not worry about making mistakes. And I think from my first few sessions here at Oxford, stepping into this assistant role has given me an opportunity to take some of those key messages and really kind of make them land with the women's team. So that's been that was a highlight at Arsenal, as well as the opportunity to go and coach in a number of different countries and really have an impact on the development of women and girls football in a different culture, in a different environment, which was very memorable and has shaped me as a coach.
What do you think that those who have worked with you in the past would highlight as your best quality as a coach, do you think?
That's a question. For me, patience is one thing. When I'm coaching, I'm not necessarily that person who stands on the side of the field shouting commands at players. Perhaps that's a traditional view of what coaching looks like. For me, it's about stepping back, observing, asking some good questions, and coaching players to their strengths. So sometimes rather than picking up on things that go wrong all the time, it's about highlighting things we're doing really well and making us even better at those things.
And now looking forwards to your role at Oxford, what would you say is your favourite aspects, the aspect that you're looking forwards to the most in your new role at the club?
I think the opportunity to work with Liam and to have a real input into the way we shape an environment at training where the players feel they can come and give their absolute best, and then how that translates to the pitch, and how we can come out on a Sunday and bring what we've worked on in training to life, and get the best out of each of the players. And for me, it's not just about the technical, tactical things that we do as a group. It's about creating an environment where people can develop their own character, can grow as people as well as players. And I think that's a really important thing to consider through the season.
As you've been in and around the team already now for a little while, like you said, how do you think the squad is looking like going into the new campaign?
Yeah, from what I've seen for the first few sessions I've come in, there's been a huge emphasis on developing and building some really clear principles of play, but also establishing a really strong physical base. Because actually, if you don't do that now, then there's no catching up that can be done in the season. This is a huge opportunity to make sure that we start the season in a really strong respect, especially with such a long break for everybody from playing and from training. It's been an important time to establish that confidence within the group. So I've just loved the first few sessions in, and I'm really looking forward to what could be this season.
Talking about those principles of play that you mentioned a second ago, as a coach, what would you say are your principles, but like tactically and both, like you've mentioned, also just as man management, really?
Yeah, from a tactical perspective, I think that some of the ways that I like to coach and things which ring true for me really kind of connect with Liam's approach to coaching and the philosophy he's building around the team. So having that expansive attacking football is always something that's really exciting. But when we're in possession and building attacks, being patient on the ball, and I think that if we have players who are good at solving problems themselves in the games, rather than relying on us to give them all the information, is really important. And when it comes to working with players, like I said earlier, I think it's about developing people as well as developing players. So I think if we look after the person within this group, the athletic qualities within this group of players will take care of themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not long until the start of the season approaches. It's fast approaching. Gillingham away first up. That'll be a good test to start off the campaign, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as a team of coaches and as a group of players, everybody's really excited to kind of get the season started. It's been such a long time since people have gone out and played competitive football. The pre-season games have been really positive so far. In a couple of days, we're away at Southampton, and I think every test and challenge is part of our learning and development as a group. So yeah, Gillingham away at the start of the season, I mean, couldn't be a better place to start, really.
Yeah, and looking further forwards to the new campaign, the club has high hopes for this season, with the aim of promotion. Did that heavily influence your decision to join?
I think it's something that played a factor in my decision making. To be part of a group who want to win the league, who want to go for promotion, is really exciting, and I can't think of many coaches who wouldn't be inspired by that. So to come in and have a real mission and a real purpose around what we're trying to achieve is something exciting, and that comes with a bit of pressure, because actually with that we need to be accountable to our standards to make sure that we're doing things to the best of our abilities all the time. But I think that's a challenge that people will thrive on.